Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Nidu nishmasi mimiros irus Mordechai. Oh. Yesterday, a woman came to my house. She had an appointment. She told me a crazy story. 6 months after she got married, her husband was diagnosed with MS. Fast forward 29 years. Now he's bedridden and he's in the hospital now. Needs a refuah shlema. He's having major problems with his breathing, whatever. So I did a video for him, and she said, like, because his oxygen was at the max, and they want to intubate him and everything. So she showed him the video. He watches the shir every day, at least the English and many times the Hebrew. So we wish him a refuah shlema. We have some very chashuv guests. First of all, Shalom Aleichem, Joey, right?
Yes.
Last name?
Baghdadi.
Baghdadi. Send regards to Murad.
Yes.
How do you guys call him?
I call him Murad.
Murad.
Yeah.
Murad.
Yeah.
Shkoyach. So the Oil is doing the daf. You're dafing.
How long?
A lot of guys?
Sharatzion.
Really?
Yeah, yours.
Sharatzion.
Chazara.
Chazara. Keep on going. And we have Reb Dov Harris and the young Harris. What's your first name? Zevi Harris, all the way from London. Shkoyach. So we have a couple of new sponsors here. Sponsors get first dibs on the room. So what do we have here today? The new ones. Oh, my good friend Rabbi Didier Pereira was on the safari with us. Zivug Hogun, Libitenu, Shoshana Brocho Bashalamis, and for Chaim Dove ben Shalamis, and Yisrael Meir ben Shalamis, Bekorev Mamish, B'schus HaTorah v'Limdel. We got to do something for him. We got to make a rash. We got to make a tumult. And we have Home and Stone, Abe Tukotsky. You remember? Anybody remember? The first day of COVID, the first day that I left the Beis Medrash, we closed down the Beis Medrash. I give shir by myself in the house. People were dying, the whole COVID month, and all of us, it was like a little depressing. You know, like we built the Beis Medrash and we had a big oilam every day. I come home and there's a piece of art. It's hanging by my door now from Abe Tukotsky. So he's with us since the beginning. And we have from Blackbird, from Tuli Kraus, yeah? Tuli Kraus from Muncie. And now our boy Isai, what everybody's waiting for. Shabbos of Achdus. Those as a Koros HaToiv to all the monthly people, which help us a lot. We opened registration for the monthlies. And I think tonight, that means that everybody that's a monthly got an email with a code. There's one code per person. So you get chance to get your room. Tonight, I believe, we are going to open it up for all those who were there last year. We're probably not going to do this again next year, but I said it last year, so we'll do it. And then, after that, it's going to be open for everybody. As of right this moment, well, it might be a little over, but a few hours ago, 175 rooms were booked already. So Baruch Hashem, we're at 500. Now, I told you about this guy. Hillel had the schus of meeting this guy. I wasn't exaggerating when I said that I walked into Twillery and one of the guys selling there, he's high energy. Let's call him high energy. I'm going to give you spicy. I'm going to give you a little sample, just a small sample of what? This is like toned down. Okay, this is not even, it was even more than this, the amount of hugs. Hill got one of the hugs.
ADHD.
What is it called? Did he? Oh, what, I don't know what he has. He has a lot of simcha in his life. Check this out, Rabbi Isai. Here we go. Here he is on the left. That's the famous Hillel on the right.
Let's go! Rav Eli, I miss you so much. You don't understand. Obviously, we know the story doesn't open without your beautiful face on that screen. I want to send a video. Yeah. With Daf Yomi on that bad boy. Does it get better than that? I don't think so. By the way, the woos are flying, and thank you so much for sending a precious soul over here. I got to. I so want to come for Shabbaton. I know. I'm looking. I don't have 20.
Does anybody want to do Shabbaton?
I know there's very limited spots. spots. Is there any way I can walk?
He doesn't need sponsorship. He wants to go in early.
Blue Spice, MDY Shabbos. Does it get better than that? I don't think so. And by the way, when you see him, can you give him the biggest hug and biggest kiss? Mwah. See you soon, Belly. Let's go. Yeah.
Do I get my shirt now? All the best.
Yeah.
Hello.
All right.
It goes from like 1,000 to 1. And then we're watching the shir on the screen over there. Givaldig. But he starts to Abana Bekirba. I said this is from a Koil Yungaman. It's not the first time we received one of these. First of all, I'd like to thank you for your shiur in which you delivered such clarity. I purchased a 24/6 device a few months ago with the intention of joining. You were there. Who was there when the guy said that 1,000 views on 24/6? Was you or you? Yeah. You were there also?
Oh, sure.
And with the intention of joining Yeshirim, but I kept putting it off. As in Geman and Koilel, I used to wake up late almost every day. I realized I needed to make a change and start waking up early. It was hard for me since I decided it was time to start participating in phenomenal Shiurim, waking up at 6 a.m. every day. And after Shachar 7 a.m. I started learning the Daf with you. This started a few weeks ago, and since then I haven't missed whatever, but I'm trying my best, and I would say, first should look back. I also used to struggle with Shmiras Lanayim. It was difficult for me. Today, after finishing the Daf, I was walking the street and felt a joy that's hard to explain. I wasn't feeling any temptation at all. My soul was filled with Simchas HaTorah. Thank you so much, Rebelli, keeping Zakat Klal Yisrael. Thursday share and Friday share weren't uploaded. Toda Rabba Me'et Avrech Beboro Park. Shkoyach. My son Eitan, I love this, who is in 9th grade in Shivat HaShomron in Karnei Shomron, is learning Bava Metzia this year. He never liked learning Gemara nor understood it. I tried learning with him for his most recent test, but then it hit me. Why not find Rebelli's Shir and Bava Metzia, Daf Ayin Zayin, and prepare for the test that way? The rest is history. He got his highest score yet, an 86. Thank you so much for everything you do. Mitch Mendel, Karnei Shomron. You could have spoken to Avi. This is an old trick, no? It's an alta trick. But it's a good one. If you don't know about it, my wife and I were not planning on sharing our story. This is a very long email, so I'm just going to... Basically, they were benched with their 6th kid, and right afterwards, his wife got really sick. Rushed her to the hospital. She was in the hospital through the bris, through postpartum preeclampsia, whatever that. And it lasted for months, basically, to the point where he says that she got a new lease on life. They were mamish very nervous about her. Vachnacht, whole thing. Rushed her to the hospital. He had to go home, take care of the baby. Cleveland, the whole zach. People helped him from all over. He has no idea how his kids went to school that day or afterwards. Mikam Yisrael. No words. Thank all the individuals. During this whole kuf, I found myself taking on the role of mommy. However, through it all, I always pushed myself to do the daf. There were days that I missed, but I followed your advice to always stick to the daf, that day's daf, keep track of the daf, and I didn't do, eventually catch up. Kitzer, you caught up. Thank you, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, for bringing us this Yeshua, for giving my wife a second lease on life. Thank you, Rebelli, for an amazing shir. It was so much easier to keep up with the daf because of your clarity, especially the art that really brings the sugi to life. May Hashem bench you, continue doing what you're doing, give much hatzlach in your marriage, Torah, thousands, your talmud, and somewhere around the end of Nazir, Mishulim Dir. Givaldik. The Masechta is sponsored by David Salomon, dedicated in memory of Yves Moiri, Reb Shmuel, Baruch, Ber Reb Chaim Tzvi, Doi Zechron Levracha. Oi, I forgot. He asked me to call somebody. Good thing I remember his name every day. Masechta sponsors. Anonymous. L'nishmas Doidi Shlomo Yehuda Zechron Levracha and Shmuel Chaim Zechron Levracha. Shokav V'lamed Kochim Kol Chayov. Anonymous L'zech Nishmas Nochem Tzvi Ben David. Sponsored by Skybrook Capital. Oh, before I forget, a number. I just want to house. No.
Public service announcement.
No. Housekeeping. Thank you. Who said that? Who's the Chacham? That's exactly the word I was looking for. Housekeeping. There's a woman that you could contact for the Shabbaton. Her name is Chaya at mdydaf.com. That's our website is mdydaf.com. Not dafyomi, not mdydaf.com. Chaya at mdy. Don't bother Mark. He gets hundreds of phone calls. Yossi, all the chashuv things that you have to say about your room. Chaya and MDY. That's one thing. I know that you're different, that you need the one by the window, by the this. Chaya can take care of it. Yossi could, you know, if you want to donate, if you want to be a sponsor and you want first dima, then you could call Yossi. That's say there. The other thing that I like to tell people, and I want to say this again, because somebody just told it to me yesterday. Somebody, Rothman, the owner of Rothman was here. He says, I need to get my friend to come to the Shabbaton, so my wife has who to. I want to tell people that I spoke to many women after the Shabbaton, and I got emails about this. Women felt comfortable coming without knowing anybody. And that's a big thing, because a lot of men say, well, I don't know, what's my wife going to do? She's going to feel awkward. And That was the beauty of it. Women, people embraced them, schmoozed with them, and within minutes they felt comfortable. You don't have to buy your wife a new shaitel, a new wardrobe. And this guy came to me, he says, for the Hebrew Shabbaton, he's like, my wife bought a new stroller, and I said, no, we don't do that. It's not a chashuv thing, it's a terrible thing. So anyways, your wife is going to feel comfortable and she's going to be uplifted and enjoy it immensely. So that shouldn't be an issue. Joel Gedalius, where am I holding? I have no idea. Leadership was my father, Jackie Gedalius. Anonymous Atzacha Baruch Nis V'Gashmius. I did Skybrook, did I?
No.
Started. Oh, sponsored by Skybrook. I was getting thirsty, Taka. In honor of our friends, Meir Kovacs Taki and Shamsi Shalavrak. Taki's waiting by the phone now because last year he was locked out. For the devotion, what? He's not a sponsor. For the devotion to Torah study, you never know. He might be the anonymous guy. Although the anonymous guy's in the room now, so that I know it's not. For the devotion for the Torah study and the shir. Monthly sponsors Tzvi Jacobs. For Refuah Shleima for Bracha Bat Chana. Anonymous, please down for Refuah Shleima for the world's best dad, Aaron Ben Chaya Sarah. Anonymous. Bracha Ad B'Lidai. Baruch Tzvi Nisim Ben Shoshana Leah. Yehuda Ben Yom Ben Chava. Weekly sponsors Alan Khan. And marry my mother Yocheved Mina Bat Avrom. Daily sponsors Kamiansky family. Lilishmas Chaya Basar Moshe, whose yahrzeit is today. May Neshama have an aliyah. Innovations LLC has a schus for shidduch for Rivka Yehudis Bas Yafa Chaya, a schus for Akiva Simcha Ben Fega, and as a chorus atoiv to MDY. I see those two names together a lot. Maybe we should make a shidduch over there. Zahava Goldstein, Lili Nishmat, Moshe Yeshua Ben David Hakoyin on a second yahrzeit. Thank you, Hashem, L'schos, Yikusil Yehuda Ben Leah, MDY Art, anonymous for the Refuah Shleima of Rivka Naomi Bas Elisheva Batya month. Refuah Shleima Yehodat Anedam Ben Mesheva Brocha. Refuah Shleima Mordechai Ben Esther. Refuah Zayelad Daniel Zeh Ben Ayelet Esther. Zokt the Heilige Gemara. We're holding the Ayin. We're going to do something, I don't know if we've done it before. We are going to go through 4 amudim of Gemara. There's going to be 2 turning of the davs today. The excitement depends how you behave. Depends. Tanu Rabbanon.
Go to the principal's office.
Tanu Rabbanon. Rabbi Isai, if you find a dead bird on your porch, just happened to me. No, I'm not talking about the kosher bird. Those are bad. You find a non-kosher bird on your porch. If you're a kohen, are you allowed to pick it up? Yes. Why? There's no tumah. What about a kosher bird? If you're a kohen, are you allowed to pick it up? Yes. Welcome. Yes. You're not allowed to swallow it. You're extra machmir.
It has a foul smell.
Don't be smart with me now. So a non-kosher bird doesn't have a tumah. A non-kosher animal has tumah, and its fat is also tummy. Now, let's say, and this you see in America all the time. I saw with my own eyes. I saw a deer hit on the side of the road. A truck pulled up, grabbed him, and he had it like a tray coming out of the back of put him on the tray, tied him up, and weiter. It's hundreds of dollars. It's venison. It's meat. Is that animal tomei? A truck hit a car hits a deer, kills the deer. Is the animal tomei? Yes. You say no. Why not? Explain to me why not. What? No, nevela. The tumah of nevela was hit by a car. It's dead. Is the deer tameh? Yes or no? Yes. If a car hits a lion and kills the lion, is the lion tameh?
Have a wonderful day.
No. Yes. Why not? If a car hits a cow and the cow dies, is the body tummy? Are you allowed to touch the cow? No, it's tummy. What about the chiyalado? But it's tummy. What about the fat inside the cow? The fat that you're not allowed to eat. Are you allowed to touch? Is it tummy or not tummy?
No. Said yesterday.
Not tummy. What?
Because it can be.
Nothing to do with it. The meat is tummy, the fat is not. If you hit a deer If you hit a deer with a car, we said that the body, the meat of the deer is tamei. What about the fat inside the deer? Is it tamei or not tamei? Tamei. The fat is tamei. The fat of a cow is not. The fat of a deer, yes. It's halacha. So it's something important to know. In other words, just to understand by a deer, let's say you shecht the deer. Is the meat tamei or not? No. Is the fat tamei? No. So in other words, the fat is like the meat. When the meat is tamei because it got hit by a car, it's an avela, so the fat is tamei. By a deer only, by chayas. Only by chayas. And when you're mutter to eat the meat because you shechted it, then the fat is not tamei. But by a cow, it has nothing to do. A cow, the fat is always not tamei because it's the chaylev. There we go. A behemoth Torah, the shechita, no matter what, is metaret, even if it has holes, like this picture, even if it's a treifa, the shechita makes it not tamei. But the fat is also bachila, but always tahar. Even that of an avela. So if a cow drops dead, there's a part of it that's not metame, which is the fat. When it comes to a chaya, so the fat is always mutter to eat when it's shechted, but it's tahar. The fat is tahar when you're allowed to eat it, and it's tamei when you're not allowed to eat it. When are you not allowed to eat the animal? When it's an avela, when it drops dead or gets hit by a car. What about a bird? What if you shecht a birdie and find out that it's a treifa? If you shecht a birdie and find out that it's a treifa, what's the halacha? That was the machlekes we had. If the shechita is metayr bird, if it's not a metayr, or maybe in between, malika has tuma, shechita doesn't according to Rabbi Yossi. Okay, so now let's see. I'll just try to compile some of the halachas that we learned yesterday and today. Now we're finishing that sugya up, and we're going to go to very easy stuff today. Toner Rabbanon, v'chelev nevela v'chelev treifa. It says in the pasuk, 8 lines from the bottom of Ayin Omid Aleph. Okay, we got to start from Omid Aleph. That's yesterday's daf still. Finish that, then go into. I didn't notice. We have a chashuv guest. Shalom Aleichem. What's your name?
David Barrett.
From?
West Hempstead.
Shalom Aleichem. Very nice. A lot of West Hempstead guys. No, it's time to make a satellite location there, no?
Yeah. Yes, it's time.
Oh, good. Somebody else should do it, or you're gonna?
All
right, it's in between. Very nice. I like it. Taner Rabbanon. How do I know that when a cow dies naturally, gets hit by a car, that its fat, the chaylev part, is tahar, not tamei? Interesting, right? The whole body is tamei. That one part of chaylev, that the fat that covers the bottom over there, the picture that we have of Rav holding up the fat, tar. The chaylev nevela, the chaylev treifa, that the Torah says you can do whatever you want with this fat, but you shouldn't eat it. The chaylev be'emet Torah because medaber. The Torah is saying it's not metame. You don't become tummy from it. Who told you who told you? Where does it say in the pasuk that we're talking about a kosher animal? Maybe it's talking about a non-kosher animal like a camel, and the Torah is saying that the fat of a non-kosher animal is not metame. Amris. Tier miklal shchuta, v'tier miklal chaylev. Through shchita, I could shecht an animal, and even if I find out that it has holes in its heart, it's tar. So that I did by a kosher animal. V'tir miklal chaylev. And I said that a kosher animal that's tamei, the chaylev is tar. I said this only by a kosher animal and not by a tamei. Oh, it makes sense that we're talking about a kosher animal. No. Now listen, Rabbi Yisai, I want you to read this line. If you have an article, don't look inside the article. Because if you look inside the article, you can't answer. And don't look in Rashi. Listen to this. You're all looking now. Tier miklal nevela v'tier miklal chaylev. The Torah said that a nevela, oiklach l'derech zu. Yeah, I thought I said that. We could go a different direction. You can do it differently. Same logic, a little different. Tir miklal nevela. The Torah said that a nevela is tar. V'tir miklal chaylev. The Torah said chaylev is tar. Makish tir miklal nevela b'tmei v'lo b'tar. The Torah said that the nevela of a tamei animal is tahar. V'lo b'tar. We're talking about a tamei animal that's tar. Well, what is going on here? What case did we ever say that a tamei animal, the carcass of a tamei animal, like a lion, got ran over? Where did we ever say that it's tar? I don't remember such a thing. The Gemara says, "Ma'keshetir miklal nevela." It made a nevela, a dead rhinoceros, elephant, lion. They're all tar. V'lo b'tayra. And that halacha only applies to a tamei animal. So we must say that the Gemara is not talking about an animal. Now we must say we switched, without telling us, we switched now to a bird. A bird. Oh, now it makes a lot of sense. No, he doesn't have to go, just the head, I think he means. Anyway, a bird, a non-kosher bird is tar. That you said, Joey, that you touch a non-kosher bird, a dead raven on your porch, tar. That's what it means here. There's tumah in a kosher bird and no tumah in a non-kosher bird. So let's read it again. Yeah. But I didn't say touch. I said there's tumah in a non-kosher bird. There's tumah in a kosher bird and there's no tumah in a non-kosher bird. How? Through Beis Abliya and not through Beis. Ma'keshetir miklal nevela. What nevela? Of a bird. It's tar. A non-kosher bird. B'tmeya. But that halacha doesn't apply to a kosher bird. As we said, a kosher bird will be metami if you swallow it. So too, when the Torah says that chaylev is tar, maybe I could go that direction. A second ago we were saying that it comes to say that a kosher animal, it's chaylev is tar. Now I'm saying that a non-kosher animal, it's chaylev is tar. Huh?
Learn behema from behema, not behema from oifus.
Yeah, okay, I hear. We have a better way. We have a mefurish pasuk. Ayin omid beis. Oh, we're getting there. Kishabah b'derech zu hi b'tahira. If you're going to go kishabah b'derech zu hi b'tmeya. Well, if we're going to learn the first way we learned, then we're going to come to the conclusion that the fat, the chaylev, I should say chaylev really, he's right. The chaylev of a tar animal is tahar. And if we go with the second route, we learn from a bird, then we're going to come out to the conclusion that the fat of a tar animal is tamei. So what do? I can go either direction. Which one do I do? Talmud loymar treifa. It makes a lot of sense now. Since the Torah says treifa, and that's a word that we used yesterday a bunch of times, different limudim, the Torah says treifa, mishiyesh b'mina treifa. There is no such concept of a lion that's a treifa. Who cares if he's treifa, if he has a hole in his heart? L'may nafkemina. The whole idea of treifa is only by kosher animals. So since the Torah is saying the word treifa, so this whole idea of the chaylev being tar is obviously talking about a kosher animal. Okay, so just again, nachamol chazar, because I think it's a little confusing. The fat of a kosher animal is always tar, even ran over by a car, shot by a gun, doesn't matter, always tar. Especially if you shechted, it's tar. The fat of a kosher chaya, such as a deer, a buffalo, a wildebeest, if they're kosher, then it depends. If you shecht it, then the fat is kosher, it's tar. If you don't shecht it, if it dies naturally, get hit by a car, shot by a gun, then the fat would be tamei. Sponsors. Turning to the Daf, Hadar Global, Turkey Financial Services for hassle-free real estate purchase in Israel. Stephen Schwartz, Lil Nishmas, my parents, Million J. Schwartz, former owners of RNS Deli in Lakewood, New Jersey. There are people here that miss you. And this is the tzava of the bird that got hit by a plane, so Kobe threw it in here. Because it's the tzava, it says give for the turning of the daf. Zog to Gemara. Oitis atmeyo shem b'mino treifa, v'lo oitis achayish shesh b'mino treifa. So I should take out a non-kosher animal. Non-kosher animal doesn't have treifa. V'lo oitis achayish shesh b'mino treifa. But a chaya does have the idea of treifa. Tamud loyma v'choloi sechlu. Mishachelba Asur B'Sar Mutter. Here, the pasuk is a double lashon here in the pasuk. I'll show you real quickly. Pasuk Chav Gimel says Kol Chelu Leisachelu. Pasuk Chav Dalet says V'Chol Leisachlu. So the double lashon Mishachelba Asur B'Sar Mutter. Dafka a behema where you're not allowed to eat its chelev ever, but you're allowed to eat its meat. Yatzachaya shechelba, and this Rabbi say is it's a little tricky. There's 5 words here, but this is how we learn this halacha. Yatzachaya shechelba b'sara mutter. A chaya, which its meat is mutter, and so is its chelev mutter. So when the meat is asur, the chelev is asur. It's a crazy halacha. It's a hard halacha. Huh? Tomei.
Because it's eichel. It's considered eichel.
Okay. It's whatever. If that's your way of remembering, givaldik. It's considered oil. Chelev and the basar are the same. So Mela did the same. Whether it means that it was shechted and the basar is mut. You ever had venison? Anybody in this room ever have venison?
Yeah.
It's very salty.
It's a little gamey. Is it good? It's tough. It's a little gamey. Tough. Okay. So if you shecht it, Reviser, I showed the picture yesterday. Reviser showed shechted deers. If it was good, you would have it all the time. It's time for shtick. Shmuel Gvasserman did once, at least once, in Chicago, in Charlotte. He had this whole thing where he did all the interesting stuff. He advertised that he's going to serve giraffe, I think. I don't know what it was. People flew in. They had all these, the hackers flying private jet, land. He picked them up, brought them to Charlotte's. All the quail, I don't know if that's even this, that. You had the wine that has the gold in it, the whole grasshoppers, the whole Suda, a mudna Suda, and they flew back. Oh, this was great. We had venison. Okay. Anyway. They're all like, blah. Yeah. Pilot, it's stickle. Could you stop shaking the plane? Yeah. I have bad news for you guys. Only 4 lines left to the sugya. According to what you just said, this is Givaldic, this line over here. If you go back to Amid Aleph, you'll see what Rabbi Yaakov is saying. This is what I asked you to read over there. According to what you're telling me, Nivlas behema ta'irahu d'metama, Nivlas behema t'mei le'metama. Let's read the line again. He read it like I was asking you to read before Art Scroll, before Rashi. Read it again. 2 lines from the bottom. You said that an animal that's tame is tahar. I'm sorry, a tame animal, meaning a lion, is tahar. So he asks him, I don't understand. Doesn't make sense. A dead lion is tahar. A dead cow is tameh. You know how many chachamim got mixed up over here? You're right. It's a little tricky. The flow doesn't flow well because we're talking about a dead animal and also we're talking about a dead bird. It's hard to. And that was the whole sugi yesterday. Also, you go back, forth, bird, animal, but that's it. If you made the mistake, you're not the only one. Kama Sove Shabish, there's a lot of elders that got confused over here. We're not talking about a behemoth, we're talking about an oif, and that everybody knows clear. A non-kosher dead eagle is tahar. You touch it, tahar. A dead pigeon has tum in it if you eat it. Givaldi. Nu sogi Rabbi Sai, it's time to wake up. Now here goes the easy stuff. I'm Rabbi Yochanan. Lo yitir Rabbi Meir elo betmimim. So again, what's the idea? You take your thumb in the Beis Hamikdash with the nail. You go through the back of the head of the bird. Says Remeir, Shitas Remeir. Yeah, here you want to see only Remeir and Rabbi Yossi by Shchita, but only Remeir says that Milika removes the tumah from the bird, even if you do a what is it called? That you nituche mesim. How do you say? Autopsy, and you find that it has a hole in the heart. This bird, not tameh. Why? Because the Milika has the power to get rid of the tumah. So he says, wait a minute, stop. This treifa, and it's kedai, if you have a pencil, write the word treifa right over here. Loitir Rabbi Meir, this whole sugya is talking about a treifa. We have to stick that in. There's a treifa and you did malika. That's provided that you don't see an outwardly mum. Let's say it's blind, let's say it's missing a wing, let's say it's missing a leg, then this trick doesn't work. The malika is not going to work. Loitir Meir el betmimim. It's a treifa inside, but it's whole on the outside. If you have a combination of treifa plus it's missing an eye, then the malika is not going to work. The malika works even in that case. It's manami, Omer Abibi, Omer Belazar, Mitayr, Meir, Bebali Mumin. Listen to this, Rabbi Isai, this is unbelievable. Mitayr, Rabbi Meir, Bebali Mumin. What kind of mum? Afilu, listen, look at this picture. Afilu ba'avazim. Even if you do malika to a duck. Now, what connection does a duck have to the Beis Hamikdash? You can't bring a duck to the Beis Hamikdash. Malika to a duck and a goose. And a chicken in the Beis Hamikdash. A person brings a chicken, he says it's a balmum. So let me ask you something. Here, let me ask you. What if I do malika to a goat? I have a very, very strong thumb and a nail. I do a malika to a goat. Is that good? Why is it not good? It's good on a goat. Hey, no, it's good on a duck. Huh? Off only. He says off only. Okay, so I have another question. This the Chazon Ish discusses. What if I'm supposed to chop off a calf's head with a knife, with a, what is it called, that sharp? A cleaver. And instead of chopping off a calf, I chop off the goat's neck. Do I remove the tumah? Now I know it's not kosher because the calf by the egla roof I'm talking about. Egla roof, I'm supposed to bring a calf. I'm supposed to chop its head off. And when I chop its head off, it removes the tumah from this animal. I didn't have a calf, so I brought a goat. Chop. It's similar to this. Why? I did a malika instead of to a pigeon, I did it to a duck. So instead of chopping off the head of a calf, I chopped off the head of a goat. Does it work? Not at all. So, okay. Now we go right in the Gemara. Says the Gemara.
It's a chiddush Torah.
Why is it chiddush chiddush Torah? He says no, it's a balmum. He says it's called a balmum. He says it's a weird type of bird. It's not what? Oh, the whole thing of the egla rufa. Okay.
So it's only there.
But you see that it's similar, that you do malika to a bird that's not in the same it's not the same bird. No shaykhs. A duck. I had duck once in my life. What is, oh well, I didn't have any pigeon yet. The Torah says pigeon, malika to a pigeon, or to a tar b'nei yoina. And also you're bringing in the Canadian goose like this, and you're doing a malika to it.
It's turkey. Thanksgiving.
Turkey. Oh, turkey. Gewaldig. Anyways, it's not the Chazon Ish. This is Gemara. Boy Rabbi Yirmiyah. Oraf eiz mahu. What if you chop off the head of, here, we even have a little bit of a video here. This is what you're supposed to do. You bring the calf to Nachal Eisan, you bring it to some sort of river, and you do that. Now the question is, so that's what you're supposed to do. That you find the body, and you don't know if it belongs to this city, so the bezin comes, they measure, and then they do a whole thing. They bring a calf, and they say, Yedenu l'sholchu, shavchu dam zeh, okay. And then instead they did it to a goat. Here, goat.
You're just goading him.
Says Gemara, maybe this is different. It's in the same category. They're both birds. It's a different type of bird. But what connection does a goat have to a calf? Or perhaps it's still a behema. A behema is a behema. So Abai says, wait a minute. You're making a hanacha and you're asking me a question. You're assuming that if you chop off the head of an egla harufa, it removes the tumah, right? Because that's the Gemara's whole question. Nachama. Gemara never thought for a second that if you chop off the goat's head, you're allowed to eat it. You're not allowed to eat the calf's meat. So what? Yes, chop off the calf's head, which is also b'hana now, but there's no tumah. So what if I chop off the goat's head? Maybe I can remove the tumah like that. That was the whole question. but I'm removing the tumah. Says Abaye, wait a minute. You assume that there's no tumah after you chop off the calf's head, and that's why you're asking me, do you remove the tumah from a goat? Yes, it's tar. Why? It says the word kapara. Kapara means, just like a carbon, after you shechted there's no tumah, so too, egla aruva. It's a kapara. It removes the tumah. Masiv, Rav Nassan Avu, Rav Huna Bar Nassan. Interesting. Yeah. Rav Nassan, the father of Rav Huna Bar Nassan, now what do I learn from this pasuk? That the chaylev of this behema, I need a special pasuk to tell me that the chaylev, the fats of this behema are tar. That there's no tumah on this fat. You shouldn't eat it, but you're allowed to use the fat. You can make candles out of it. A weird question. Stam, throw it out there. A person like Elenu, they made a whole movie about this, the soccer team. So a true story. Person is on a plane crash, and the true story, soccer team was on a plane crash. They landed in some jungle.
Andes.
What?
The Andes. South America.
They're in South America, and now there's no option right now. Some of them died, and they are starving. They have zero food. Do you eat a human being?
They did.
Because they didn't have the second option. The question that came to me was interesting. They called them up from South Africa and they asked them, South America, hey, we're stuck here. We have human beings that we could eat, or a dead carcass of a horse. What's better for a yid to eat at this moment? You have two options: human being or a dead horse, an avela or a human being. A horse is better. What? What do you say? Huh? So it's mutter?
Not as bad. Not mutter.
Oh.
Not as bad.
Eat the horse today.
So if it's a machlokes, what would you do? Nevel is 100% ulcer. So if you think it's a machlokes, I would go with the human being. So you go with the human being. You say no. Yeah, but it's a different isser. There's no isser there, right? You don't get malchus for isser, no, like that.
They all dead and they
Okay, anyway, it's a machlokes.
No, some don't.
Who was it? I forgot who it is.
Some people said some survived.
Oh.
Some survived. Some died.
The Ritva says that there's a isser lav on a human being. The Ramah says, the Rambam say that it's a isser asay. And the Vilna Gaon and the Ramban, I don't know, they go in the same category. They say that it's not it's only isser derabbanan to eat a human being, and Mamela it'll come out that l'chayr you should eat a human being. Zog the Gemara, yeah, eicha.
No, but again, there was no.
What if you don't have any choice? If you don't have any choice,
They were dead.
then you have no choice.
They didn't kill them. No, it says they bishlu. No, they were dead.
Yeah, that's the difference. Bishlu Yildei. It doesn't say what. Who says Bishlu that they were alive?
Yeah, it says
Bishlu Yildei, maybe they were dead already. I don't know.
killed them.
That's what they say.
Over there, though, there were some people who couldn't do it.
It's not so negated to the sugi, so we can go back
Couldn't
there.
do it, and they died because they couldn't do it.
Let's go back there.
Some people said that's tzavah. They said, "Eat me."
What in Eicha?
Over there, no.
Oh, over there.
When I die, eat me.
Eat me.
I can't eat anyone, but you can eat me.
Wow. Oh, they couldn't. They died because they
People
couldn't
died,
eat.
Yeah, she said, "I can't eat it. I can't do it." They said, "No, it's I can't do it," and she
died. Wow.
But I want you to.
She was makbid like the Ritva. She thought it's this. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Eicha, yeah. Zog the Gemara. Oh, ask the Gemara very. So the Gemara says, wait a minute. From here, I learn what? This pasuk tells me that it's you're allowed to use the chaylev in a situation where it's also to eat, and it's mutter bana. Chaylev sheshara niskal ve'egla rufa minayin. If you have we're going to actually have in the Mishnah shara niskal ox that killed a human being, let's say, and you have to kill him. So it's also bana and ve'egla rufa also bana minayin. How do you know that it's not tummy? Tamaloymar kol chaylev, all chaylev, even chaylev that's also bahana, you're permitted to, not permitted, but it's not mitama, no tuma. So ask the Gemara a bomb question. Why do I need a pasuk to tell me that the chaylev is not metama? If the whole body of the shara niskel, the whole thing, the meat is not tamei, why would I think for a second that the chaylev is tamei? Huh? What? If the egla rufa is tar, like you're telling me, you told me that when you chop off the head it's tar, and you're asking me if a goat you chop off the head it's tar. I need a pasuk to tell me that the whole entire 95% of the egla rufa is tar, and I would think that the fat in it is tamei, and for that I need a pasuk. Why would I ever think that? Says the Gemara, you're right. If you get to the point that you use the cleaver and you chop the head off, then it's pasha that it's tar. You brought the egla rufa there, and you didn't realize that you have to use a cleaver. You did a shchita. Now it's considered a nevela. It's tamei. Ask the Gemara, why is it a nevela? We said that according to everybody, nobody argues that if you do shchita, even to an animal that has a treif in it, everything shchita works to make it not tamei. So how come over here by the egla rufa it doesn't work? You're right. Okay, it dropped dead. That what? It was an egla rufa and it dropped dead. And you should know that the chaylev is still tar, even though it's also bana. Why is it also bana? The first question you should ask: why is it also bana? What happened? You bring a little calf. You weren't able to do the cleaver. You didn't chop its head off. It drops dead. It's also bana. Why?
What makes an egla rufa?
Oh, what makes it egla rufa? I said it's egla rufa. So from the moment I said it's egla rufa, it's also bana. Oh, so says the Gemara, Michlal de Mechayim Asura. You tell me that when it's alive, it's asur? Yes. Rabbi Yana says there's a certain point in time where it turns into egla rufa. And they look. My friends looked into it and they figured out as soon as you bring it down into the riverbed, that's when it gets a shame. Egla rufa, and even if it drops dead by itself, it's also bana, but its fat is mutter, says the Torah. Kol chaylev, its fat is not mutter, it's not mitama. Hadran Allah chadasoif, Hadran Allah chadasoif, Hadran Allah chadasoif. Kol Zevachim. Last night I said, please don't sing in the whole Kol everything you do, fine. It happens to be the Kol Zevachim is the first parak of Zevachim. And it happens to be the Kol Zevachim is the second parak of Zevachim. This is the third time we have this parak. It's interesting. Same thing in Kedushin. Listen to this crazy story. You're a ranch owner in Texas. You have 70,000 animals. And one carbon, oila, ran away, got involved in there, all 70,000 into the garbage. Says the Mishnah, Kol Zevachim shenisarve b'chatois hamesos. Sorry, wrong case. Not a carbon. A chatos shemeso, here. It has to be something extreme, like a chatos that its owner died, or one of the 5 chatois that must die. This is, Dr. Epstein didn't like it 7 years ago. He's not going to like it today. But when we were discussing this idea, it's a hard idea to swallow, that if there's a chatos that its owner died before he had, a guy that's dying, Nebuch, he's a dying person, and he says, you know what, let me do tshuva real quickly. He goes and he buys a chatos, he's not able to make it to Beis HaMikdash, he dies, the chatos lives. Now what? You take, Yirachi Stavu is halacha, not to get confused. In the room. Machnisim lakipa. Yeah, it's two different things, not to get confused. Yirachi Stavu is kevis land. You let it get a broken leg and then you redeem it. That's something else. Over here, you take it, put it into a room, and you let it do what it needs to do by itself. You don't feed it or give it anything to drink. It's a terrible thing, but that's what these 5 right over here. The baby of a chatas, if you do tmurat a chatas, if the owner dies, the siman is vitimna. And a chatas in iskaper balel, if it ran away and the owner brought another chatas instead, and then he found it, and chatas shavar shnasa, it's too old. So one of these chatas got mixed into a giant pen of other animals that are kosher. All of them, the halacha is, oy b'shara niskal. Let's say there was a bull that killed a human being, and he got, we have a Givaldic video, check this out. There's an American that doesn't know the rules, that you're not allowed to use a cell phone in Meisharim.
I have a job for you.
I'm coming.
Yeah, I will be there shortly.
Dispatch, I've lost visual on the suspect. He's disappeared into the herd.
Okay. Baruch Hashem, that guy sent us an email about the cigarettes. There's so much material now. All right, so this Shara Niskal got mixed in to a giant. Some of these guys in Texas. I mean, I don't know what the halacha would be over there. Same thing. They have hundreds of thousands of cattle. What?
Heads of cattle.
Heads of cow. No, maybe in the millions. There's one I look at a King something in Texas. I didn't look it up in a long time, but they use helicopters to maneuver from place to place. It's crazy. They're larger than the state of Israel. It's massive, millions. So imagine one Shara Niskal gets involved over there. You want to really ruin the guy's business. You get a Shara Niskal, you get it from the Yerushalmi, you really put it in there. So Yamusu Kulam, they all have to die. Nisarvu, now we're moving on to another case. Nisarvu b'shor shenevda b'avero. Now we're talking about a type of animal that you can't bring to the Beis HaMikdash. It's not as severe as a Shara Niskal, which is also ba'ana, but it got mixed in to a psul. Then an avera happened to it. For instance, oy. I don't know, the word oy is, they take it out. Then what? Shehemes es ha'adam al pi eidechad. So we had a whole Masechta Sanhedrin, we discussed this many times, that if a bull kills a human being, it's like a human being killing another human being. You need two Eidim, and you need a Sanhedrin of 23. You can't just decide on your own to kill this bull. But over here we only have one Eid. So this guy is Asr. By the way, Daf Ayin Aleph means that we did 70 daf in Zevachim. It's a lot, 70 daf. Only 50 daf left. That means that the Shabbaton is coming up in 50 days. Dov, you're going to be there, no? Vada, the whole Chevre from London, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Huh? There is English. And it gets more and more when people find out how geschmack is. And literally, it boosts your batteries for the whole year, for me at least. Oi alpi habaylim. This is a beautiful thing. If the owner himself says, my ox killed a human being, my ox killed the next door neighbor, you can't kill him. Why? Why can't you kill him? Moed b'knas potter. Beautiful. Moed b'knas, because the whole idea of killing this animal is a knas. Moed b'knas, if you admit to a penalty like that, you potter. B'reveya v'nirba, we have an animal that did an act to a human being, or a human being did an act to it. And there's a whole shaila. B'zman hazeh, the interesting thing, b'zman hazeh, if there's an animal that was nirba, you allowed to eat it? There's no Sanhedrin that could kill it. The Bach says, this whole thing, the Bach goes into it. It's better not, but it could be, you could. B'muktzah v'nevad. This is talking about Avodah Zarah, that a person designated an animal, said, I want this to be my Avodah Zarah in the future. Or v'nevad, he actually bowed to it. Be'esnan means that a Zaina took payment, she took a sheep as payment. That sheep cannot be a karban. Umechir means, and this is interesting, because we had a dog in our house back in the day, he's still alive in California, but if you buy a dog, you go to, what do they call them? The breeders. You go to the breeder, you give him a sheep, and you take a dog, so the breeder cannot bring that sheep to the Beis HaMikdash. It was an exchange for a dog, and that's awesome. Biklayim, if you have a crossbreed, yeah, this is going to be great. I should do it, I'll do it, because I think I missed a day for him. Turning of the daf, let's do it, why not? Turning the daf, by Dar Global. For Turkey Financial Services, for hassle-free turnkey financial services, real estate purchases in Israel. Stephen Schwartz. I'm just doing Turkey because it's Ariel and it's funny, but in general we don't do a whole ad. Nishmois, my parents, Millie and Jay Schwartz, former owners of Arnes Deli in Lakewood, New Jersey, by Stephen Schwartz. Weiter. Klein means you have a goat and a sheep that had a offspring that you're not allowed to bring to the Mizbeach. Ube Treifa, we learned the whole thing about Treifa, the hole in the heart. Here's Treifa, Rabbi Isai, hole in the heart. Ubiyotze doifen, an animal born through cesarean. Yiru achi yistavu, so you send them to Kevis land. Maybe turn off the volume and we'll go weiter.
מדע שלום יונת.
So they go to Kevis land, they break a leg, then you sell them, you take the money from the sale, and you buy with the most expensive one, whatever the most expensive animal was. I don't know, maybe the most expensive one was my animal. So let's say it's $1,000, I spend $1,000 on the new one. Interesting, you take a carbon, and it gets mixed in with another 5 non-carbonas. Now what do I do? So it's very simple. Let's say it's an Ayla. Oh, you're gonna love this next video, Bemis. Oh, he changed it, Baruch Hashem. 1/3 to, I don't know, close to 1. It says mitzvah instead of mivtzah. You gotta change. Okay, listen to this. You go to the Beis HaMikdash. There are people there that want to bring a Ayla. They're not gonna schlep a sheep to the Beis HaMikdash all the way from Tzvat, from Be'etzah. So you bring all your sheep there. And you make maybe you give a discount. You say, listen, if you're planning on bringing an Ayla, buy from me. You cannot use my sheep for shlamim because one of them is an Ayla. I don't know which one it is. There's some of them that are complete chulin, but you have to use all 6 for an Ayla. You sell one to this guy, one to that guy. You sell to different people, and like this, you get rid of your Ayla.
That's the problem with the Bailim.
What?
The one that's his, he's the Bailim. How can someone else be?
Yeah, but it's not a kapara. It's an Ayla. You bring in a dava.
You can sell your oil.
And then you do.
That's what he's asking.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. It's in a dava. Oil's in a dava. But maybe here. It doesn't. That's the next halacha. Kachim bekachim. If it's a problem, so you just do this trick. Kachim bekachim. Let's say, yeah. Nisarvu b'chulin tmimim yimachru achulin tzarki oisamin. You sell it for that purpose only. For the Ayla. Kachim bekachim, let's say 2 types of kachim got mixed up. Like a Ayla and a Ayla, 2 Aylas got mixed up, but one is Reuben's, one is Shimon's. Kachim bekachim mim b'minoi. The same Ayla, mim b'minoi. By the way, by a chatas, right? Chatas, we said it's very dangerous to bring it as a carbon for somebody else. That's lo l'shma. So a problem with l'shma. But in an Ayla, let's say, Zeikar l'shem mishuhu, Zeikar l'shem mishuhu. So the Kohen puts it on the mizbech and it says whoever's the owner, he should get the credit. Kachim bekachim. Let's say you have 2 types of kachim. Mim b'shein emina. Ayla gets mixed up with the chatas. Now what's the problem in Ayla and chatas? I'm sticking in chatas because Rashi over here says shlamim, but they all discuss it that shlamim is probably a mistake. There's a big problem with Rashi in general here, whether it's Rashi or not. Some say it's not even Rashi. There's another Rashi. You'll see there's Rashi Ksavyat, and if you have in the Gemara, it says over here it's more Meduyik. The point is, it doesn't matter. Rashi is Shlomim. Let's call it Chatas for a second. Why? But here's the thing. I hear the idea is that the Matan Domim are different, and Shlomim doesn't make sense. How many Zrikas do you do for a Noila, Rabbi say? Does anybody remember? 2 that are 4. How many do for a Shlomim? 2 that are 4. That's why it doesn't really make sense. We're trying to get to a different type of Zrika. A Chatas, you have to give 4 times, 4 corners. And therefore, I can't say, oh, if it's a Ayla, it's Ayla. And if it's a Chatas, no, it's a different Zrika. It's a different type of Weiter. Whoa, we're running late here. So what do? Yiruachi Stavus, then you do the Kevis land thing, you let it graze until it befalls a moon. You must purchase with the most expensive type of animal that you have over there. You don't know what there's a $500 lamb and a $1,000 lamb. You have to buy 2 $1,000 lambs, you have to pay the most. And you have to take it out of your own pocket. Nisarvu. Should we keep this for tomorrow? Because it's already. I can't just finish the Mishnah. If an Ayla got mixed in with an Ayla, got mixed up with a. By the way, I forgot to say. Rashi says in the beginning of the Mishnah it's 1-on-1 over here. In the beginning of the Mishnah it's 10,001. Then the second case he went to 1-on-1. But I got to show you this beautiful Meiser. You're gonna love it. Take a look. What's Meiser? You have 10 animals. You give one. Yossi, you got to pay attention over here. And then when he gets all the way to number 10, what does he do? Rabbi Yisrael, remember? He gave him a red dot, and that becomes Meiser. Unbelievable. I love it. So, the B'char Meiser, Yirat Yistavu, B'yachlu Ki B'char Ki Meiser. Rabbi said there's a special halacha when it comes to B'char Meiser. You have to be careful how you sell it. You can't sell it in a butcher shop, you can't check it in a butcher shop, and you cannot weigh the meat. Only by B'char Meiser. Why? Because it's privately owned. But if it's kachim, you're allowed to put it on a scale. Why? Because Beis Hamikdash is going to get more money. And Rashi asked a question, I'll say it real quickly in 10 seconds, you understand? Rashi asked, but at the end of the day, the Beis Hamikdash is going to lose money if I don't weigh this B'char Meiser, let the Beis Hamikdash gain for it. Yeah, but I don't do something wrong to B'char Meiser so that Beis Hamikdash could gain another carbon. Now we're going to see in the Gemara, you cannot mix up a chatas and oshim, the two different types of animals, and they never get mixed up. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.